Welcome back to Views with Hughes, agenda-free news. This is Jerome Hughes. Now, let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, we got some more Rachel Zegler news here. Now, traditionally, when a major Disney movie like the upcoming Snow White remake starring Rachel Zegler is released, you'd expect to see characters from that film making their debut at Disney World and Disneyland. It's almost time-honored tradition that, dates back to Disney's early days. But what happens when Disney's latest films, such as The Little Mermaid 2023, which flopped badly that even the most ardent fans can't support it? Well, that's where things get tricky, and it highlights a deeper issue with Disney's current strategy. Now, take for instance the 2023 live-action remake of The Little Mermaid. This film was heavily promoted and expected to be a blockbuster hit. Disney's marketing campaign for The Little Mermaid was robust, with high hopes that it would break records and bring in significant revenue. But exactly what happened? The film severely underperformed at the box office. It flopped. Instead of reaching that coveted billion-dollar mark, The Little Mermaid, the 2023 remake, actually had lost money considering its enormous reported budget and marketing spend. Now, additionally, The Little Mermaid was caught up in racial tensions, and with Disney emphasizing race-swapped Ariel when the film didn't perform as expected. And some blame societal attitudes towards the non-white mermaid for its failure. Now, we can also speculate the reasons behind the film's poor performance, but the consequences for Disney were immediate and significant, okay? But we're going to go ahead and take the same principles to apply to something that's the fallout for some of the Disney parks and experiences, particularly in relation to The Little Mermaid. And Disney also already scheduled meet and greets with the new live action Ariel. And they had cast actors, set up promotional materials, and planned a major rollout. But with the film's disappointing performance, Disney faced a dilemma that they couldn't just remove the character from the parks. Now, they might have, done other box office flops, but instead, Disney's new Ariel meet and greet areas were often empty of visitors, creating an embarrassing situation. And Disney even relocated her to less trafficked areas of the park to minimize the embarrassment. And this was a big PR disaster and highlighted Disney's difficulty in managing its brand and characters effectively, especially with the failure of The Little Mermaid live action, which was released back in 2023. Now we have here Rachel Zegler. Fast forward to the upcoming Snow White remake starring Rachel Zegler. This film is already steeped in controversy. You see, the trailer for Snow White has received a historic number of dislikes, over $1 million, amassing over $1 million since the release at D23. Now, the projections for the film's box office performance are grim and anticipated to be one of the biggest flops in recent cinematic history. Rachel Zegler, the face of this new Snow White movie, is at the center of the storm, and Disney faces a major dilemma, thanks to Rachel Zegler, that if they choose to feature Rachel Zegler and her version of Snow White at their parks, they'll almost certainly need to cast and Hispanic and or Latino actresses for this role. Not doing so could be negative press and accusations of racial insensitivity, but all these actresses find themselves standing nearby nearly empty rooms with hardly anyone interested in meeting them would be public relations disaster and nightmare for Disney, reflecting poorly on Rachel Zegler and the film itself. But on the other hand, if Disney decides not to cast and train these actresses and the Snow White remake starring, Rachel Zegler turns out to be a surprise hit, Disney will miss out on a significant opportunity for cross promotion at their parks. It's a classic catch-22, and Disney is left struggling to find a solution over this whole Rachel Zegler thing that can't make them look bad either way, especially considering the poor reception of the Mermaid film remake back in 2023 and the controversy surrounding the Rachel Zegler casting. Now, Rachel Zegler and her situation highlights a broader issue within the Disney company itself, struggling with its live action adaptations and handling the iconic characters. If Disney chooses to go to a traditional route, sticking with the original cartoon look for Snow White, they might face accusations of whitewashing the character. And this is a reflection of a broader cultural and political climate that Disney finds himself navigating. And this is a situation that seems almost important to resolve without controversy, especially with the upcoming Snow White remake starring Rachel Zegler. So what's the most likely outcome here? You see, Disney World and Disneyland might decide to go ahead and take a proverbial knee on this one, no pun intended, with this whole Rachel Zegler controversy and stuff that's happening, especially with the comments that Rachel Zegler made in the past, especially on social media, and the proverbial taking a proverbial knee on this one. Why get involved in all this controversy when they can simply do nothing extra for the Snow White remake? Now, if the press criticizes them for it, Disney can always point to the existing Snow White appearances and merchandise throughout the park as evidence of, their commitment to the character itself. No comment strategy might be their safest bet. That's a commonly heard strategy. But by avoiding additional promotion for the film and the parks, Disney sends a clear message that they recognize the full potential of these live-action remakes, including the Snow White starring Richard Zegler, particularly following the poor performance of The Little Mermaid from 2023 and the controversy surrounding the Snow White film with Richard Zegler. Okay, now Richard Zegler and her involvement in the film only adds another layer of complexity. You see, if Disney decides to have a Richard Zegler doppelganger in the parks and the turnout is dismal, you can bet that there will be reporters ready to cover this story left and right. Now, the situation underscores a larger issue within Disney when it comes to casting Richard Zegler, their inability to navigate the changing cultural landscape effectively while maintaining the magic that made them great in the first place. All right. But let's also consider broader implications. You see, Disney's repeated failures with live action adaptations from, The Lion King all the way up to the Snow White remake starring Richard Zegler, it actually points to, a significant disconnect between the company's strategies and expectations of its audience. You see, Rachel Zegler and her role in this film, coupled with the ongoing controversies, highlights the challenges Disney faces in today's entertainment landscape. And that right there, people, is no surprise. Now, bottom line is that Disney needs to rethink its approach. The live action remakes, whether it's the Little Mermaid, Lion King, or even the Rachel Zegler Snow White movie, have largely failed to capture the magic of the original animated classics. Now, as Disney grapples with these challenges, it's actually crucial for them to listen to the audience and focus on what made them successful in the first place and not casting somebody like Rachel Zegler, which is to invest more in timeless stories, beloved characters, and experiences that resonate with everyone. Okay? Now, the fact of the matter is the saga of Rachel Zegler and the Snow White film and the broader issues with Disney's live action remakes actually highlight a company in crisis. You see, the constant missteps, whether with characters in the theme parks or the films that miss the mark, reflect a deeper problem within Disney itself. And not even Rachel Zegler will be able to save it this time, because let's be honest, majority of the movies that Rachel Zegler has been in have been nothing more than flops, and to cast her in the Snow White film with live action remake of it, as well as the fact that they're doing a live action remake of the film, isn't going to make it any better for Bob Iger and Disney itself as well. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Also, be sure to include any additional thoughts you have on this particular topic. Do you think that them having someone that could be a Rachel Zegler lookalike at the parks, whether it's Disney World or Disneyland, is going to make everything better? Or do you think that's going to lead, there's going to be a repeat of the whole race swap area from, the Little Mermaid? Okay, so let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. If you enjoyed what I shared in this video, go ahead, smash like, rate, and share far wide across social media. And if you haven't done so already, and you enjoyed all the content that I put out there, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification, so that way you're notified of future uploads and updates. Till then, peace.